You've got to be kidding me. You want how much for this apartment? That is way too expensive. Hey everybody, I know, right? We all have to hear it. Your apartments are too expensive. If you don't hear that your apartments are too expensive on a consistent basis, you're not trying hard enough. It's part of property management. It's just part of the game being a leasing agent or property manager. People are going to tell us our apartments are too expensive. One of the biggest reasons is, yeah, our apartments are expensive. The cost of living is expensive. It's actually the single greatest expense that people have is their rent, what they spend on rent. It's their largest bill. But I know, I'm with you. I'm your friend in leasing and life. It's difficult when we hear that our apartments are too expensive. So right here, right now on this video, I'm going to give you 3 ways to handle it when people tell you that your apartments are too expensive. And please give this video a like. I would really love it. It would mean a lot to me, and it really helps the algorithm. So smash that like button. You can go ahead and hit the like button now and hit subscribe and make sure you hit the little notifications. You'll be given notifications when I make videos like this to help you. I want to help you get more done. I want to help improve your life. I want to help you make more money. So please subscribe to this channel. So let's talk about right now my 3 tips that I'm going to give you for how to handle things when people say, hey, your apartments, they're way too expensive. All right, so the 3 tips that I'm going to give you are number 1, agreement, number 2, comparison, and number 3, too expensive for that. Let me explain all 3 of these. You can actually use them all in a sequence. If the first one doesn't work, move to number 2. If that doesn't work, move to number 3. Typically, you'll be able to handle this situation with just the first one. Some cases you'll need to jump to comparison, and very rarely you'll need to go to too expensive for that. Let's jump into all 3 right now. Number 1, as with a lot of the things that I teach at Leasing University, you've got to know the difference between an objection, meaning it's stopping them from signing the lease, and a simple complaint. Listen, the number 1 thing people complain about is the price. This may just be a complaint, right? I'm not going to buy anything without complaining about the price. It's just my nature. I don't know about you. It's human nature for a lot of people to go, wow, this is way too expensive. And they have every intention in the world of leasing that apartment. They just want to complain a little bit, right? So step number 1 is agree with them. What are you kidding me? It's so expensive. It's way too expensive. Right? $2,400? I get it. I'm with you. It's a fantastic apartment. Come on, let's go take a look at the kitchen, right? Keep things light. Keep things positive. Agree with them. They're going to expect you to fight them. No, it's not, right? So that they can enter an argument with you and maybe put themselves in a position where you feel like you've got a discount or come down on the price. Just simply agree with them. Listen, you have to get it through your head. You've got a wonderful community. You're showing them a wonderful apartment. You're the most amazing leasing professional in the market. Of course, they're going to pay for all 3 of those things. Great community, great apartment, the best staff in the world, right? It's going to cost them money. So the first thing I want you to do is just simply agree with you. I get it. It's a lot of money, right? Money is important. Agree with them and move forward. You're going to find most of the time, they're not going to bring the price back up. So we've taken care of most of the people that are complaining about the price being too expensive by simply agreeing with them. But that's not going to work for everybody. Now we may need to move with some of these people into phase 2, which is what I would call comparison. Here's how comparison works. Let's say we're working with somebody named Tony, right? Tony complains about the price at first. I agree with him. Tony says, $1,800, man, that's ridiculous. Tony, I get it. $1,800, it's a lot of money. Come on, let me show you the kitchen. But Tony doubles down. Tony is still fixated on that price. This may be a good indication that we should move to comparison. Here's how comparison works. Tony brings it up a second. Man, you gotta be kidding me. $1,800 for this? It's just way too expensive for me. Tony, I get it. Hey, just out of curiosity, when you say $1,800 is too expensive, help me understand, $1,800 too expensive compared to what? Compared to where you're living at now? Compared to other apartment communities that you're looking at? Or compared to what you expected to pay? You need to bring this comparison up. And I'm going to recap the three again. Compared to with where they're living right now. First off, where they're living right now is a complete disaster. I'm just going to tell you that. Nobody shops for an apartment for fun. There's a reason why they're talking to you. They don't like where they're living right now. Now, if they really do like where they're living right now, the only reason why they would be talking to you is maybe they're moving from somewhere. Typically, when people are moving from an area and they're complaining about the price, it means they just don't understand what the cost of apartments are in your market is, right? So we want to bring that up. We want to isolate that. If they're saying it's too expensive compared to where they're living right now, you're going to potentially need to educate them on two things. Number one, they're not getting the lifestyle that they want where they're living right now. Or if they are, you need to talk to them about how your market is priced different than, say, Broken Bow, Oklahoma, right? Or Weatherby, Wyoming, where they're coming from. It's important that you know that, okay? So that's the first thing when you say compared to what? Where you're living at right now. The next area may be compared to what? Where you're living at right now or other apartments that they're looking at. If they say, oh yeah, other apartments, I'm looking at this place down the street, it's way less money. That gives you a perfect opportunity to pivot into all things being equal. Tony, I totally get it. I totally understand, right? What was the name of that community down the street? It was called Terrible Terrace. Got it, Terrible Terrace. Heard some things about Terrible Terrace. Hey, Tony, say all things being equal, right? The price was the same between us and Terrible Terrace. Where would you rather live? Oh, I'd rather live here. Why? You've got a dog park, covered parking. It's actually a one bedroom that I'm looking at over there. And you've got balconies. They don't have any balconies. And they're actually 17 miles outside of town, right? You've got to bring that prospect down to earth. When you say compared to what, and they say another apartment community, figure out what they're comparing to. Most of the time, they're not comparing apples to apples. They're comparing you to some lame apartment community that was the lowest price thing on their list that they never wanted to live at. The last thing in that compared to where you're living at right now, other apartment communities you're looking at, the last piece of that puzzle is what you expected to pay, right? Well, you know, I expected to pay no more than, $1,000 a month. Tony, I get it. I'm with you, right? I understand you wanted to pay $1,000 a month. When you and I spoke on the phone, you said that was most important to you is that location, that you're close to work, that you're able to walk to work. There's your office right across the street. You also said that you needed an updated kitchen, that the kitchen that you have right now is a complete disaster. It's way too small. There's bad light. You can't help your kids with the homework, whatever those reasons are that you isolated. We're going to get you that kitchen with the new appliances, that really open floor plan. You also told me that you desperately need covered parking because your car got damaged by hail last summer and that cost you $9,000 to repair that hail damage. Make sure when they say compared to their budget, of course they didn't want to pay as much as you need to charge, but you need to find all of those things. You need to recap and remind them of all of the reasons why they called you in the first place. So that's that comparison, right? Hey, Tony, just out of curiosity, and make sure you say that because you don't want to seem like you're being pushy or manipulative. And I don't want you to be pushy or manipulative. Hey, Tony, just out of curiosity, when you say $1,800 is too expensive, compared to what? Where you're living at right now, other communities that you're looking at, or what you expected to pay. Make sure you bring the conversation to isolate which of those three it is, okay? So let's say we don't overcome this with comparison. It may be time to go to what I call too expensive for that. And I'm gonna say right now, 90% of you don't have the courage, you don't have the confidence to go to too expensive for that. I'm just gonna be real with you. This happens more often than you would think. Somebody's looking at an apartment, and they say it's way too expensive. It could very well be that it is too expensive for what they're getting with the apartment that you're showing them. They're not seeing the value. Oftentimes when we hear that, we do the exact wrong thing. We start to think about, well, what apartments can I show them that are less money? You need to think about them getting the value that they want before you start thinking about showing them an apartment that's less money. So if they're really sticking on, man, I'm just not seeing it, this apartment's just not worth the money, I want you to say this, hey, do you mind if I show you something? I think it may be a game changer for you. Sure, what is it? Come with me, right? Show them your next best floor plan. Show them your totally best floor plan. Show them your most expensive apartment. Show them the best thing that you've got. You're gonna find that more often than not, people are gonna go, wow, I really like this. How much is this one? Well, it's $500 more than the other one. Yeah, but look at that view. Look at the size of this bathroom. Look at the size of this bathtub. I could go swimming in this bathtub. I love this apartment, right? Sometimes we just need to be inspired and our budget goes out the window. More often than not, you're gonna find a positive outcome when you show that person a nicer floor plan. Worst case scenario, they're gonna go, yeah, I really like this, but how much is it? It's $500 more than the one I just showed you. Oh, suddenly that other one that's $500 less doesn't seem so expensive. It's a win-win for you. Trust me on this. Last case scenario, I want you to go show them your nicest apartment. I don't care what the price is. Show them the 3-bedroom penthouse. Show them the best thing that you have to offer. They're either gonna love it and increase their budget, love it and try and find something in between what you showed them first and the best property, or it's going to bring them back down to earth on that lower priced unit that you showed them the first time. They're gonna start to really see the value. Well, yeah, I don't wanna pay that much for an apartment. Let's go, you know what? The bathtub's not so bad in the one you were just showing me that was $1,200. Let's go look at that one. These 3 methods are going to help you. I want you to try this. The next time somebody says your apartments are too expensive, I want you to go with agreement, comparison, and lastly, if the first 2 don't work, go with too expensive for that and show them the nicest apartment that you have. I hope you smashed that like button. I'm pretty sure nobody's ever talked to you about these 3 strategies before. I know they're gonna help you. Please practice them. Please hit the like button. Hope you've subscribed, and I want you to check this out. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number 1. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense. even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm going to show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're going to help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.